This is Deborah Ann Davis again, celebrating a week-long Mother's Day. Instead of having Mother's Day, it's like Mother's Week. I'm just adjusting this a little bit. There we go. So I'm an author, an educator, and a teacher, and I have several books out, including How to Keep Your Daughter from Slamming the Door and Manifested Blessings, which is an anthology in which I was featured. So today, what I'm doing to celebrate Mother's Day is I'm reading from the Manifested Blessings, and then I'm going to read a short excerpt from the How to Keep Your Daughter from Slamming the Door. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you find this very beneficial. Okay, I'm changing this picture again. Okay, much better. The title of this is called A Hole in My Heart. Stairs above me, stairs below me. Panting, I contemplated which way I should go from my seat on a middle step. No, this is not a metaphor for life. This was me, an active, slender, 40-something mom, suddenly not able to make it all the way up one flight of stairs to my bedroom. I'd expected Lyme disease to make me tired, but this seemed a little extreme. Concern steered me towards the gym. It's a well-known fact that exercise and movement boost your immune system. So it made sense to add it to my anti-Lyme disease arsenal. Determined to slowly and gently help myself heal, I hired a personal trainer to guide me. We began with the standard fitness assessments. The objective of the cardio test was to see how fast the heart recovered from exercise. It consisted of taking my starting pulse, stepping up and down for 5 minutes, then taking the pulse again, and then again, every minute until the heartbeat returned to normal. The objective was to see how fast the heart recovers after exercise, but that's not what happened. I, of course, wasn't up to stepping for 5 minutes, so my trainer modified the test to just 2 minutes. After dutifully stepping for 2 minutes, he checked my heart rate a second time. Your pulse is lower than before the test. I stopped swigging my water. That doesn't make any sense. I'm still catching my breath. His frown worried me. Maybe you made a mistake. Let's try it again. After a brief rest, we tested again. And once again, my heart rate dropped following the exercise. Well, what does that mean? I quavered. It means we can't work together until you see a cardiologist and get medically cleared. Having my very own heart doctor seemed like an overkill solution for getting up the stairs, but I found one with some serious credentials who agreed to take me on. Blood work, echocardiograms, ultrasounds, stress tests, EKGs, monitors I had to carry around with me. All those tests, even though I took all those tests, the cardiologist still spent a lot of time listening to my heart with a stethoscope. Eventually, he informed me that I had a hole in my heart. Specifically, it was in my septum, the wall that separates the left and right sides of the heart. The hole accounted for the odd noises the doctor kept hearing. Fortunately, he told me, this type of hole can be repaired surgically by putting a patch over it and letting heart cells grow over that. Fortunately, that wasn't all. The test showed my pulse dropping to 37 beats per minute. No wonder I was so tired. The doctor's solution? I needed a pacemaker. A pacemaker? My weak little heart thumped in alarm. I thought those were for old people. It's unusual because you're young. However, we'll have to wait until after they cure your Lyme disease. Wait a minute. I need to exercise to help fight my Lyme disease, but I need the Lyme disease gone before I can get a pacemaker to allow me to exercise. I was trying to be calm, but that's crazy. How am I supposed to get better? Get plenty of rest. Seriously? Does anyone know a sick mom who has time to rest? Mornings, I acted peppy until my daughter left for school. I slept until the early afternoon, waking in time to grocery shop before she returned. I'd fake an abundance of energy until she disappeared to do her homework, and then I'd sink onto the couch until she emerged a couple of hours later. After a quick snack, we'd hit the hay, me gratefully and her with youthful resentment. One day, I chatted with a woman while she easily rearranged wooden boxes at a farm stand. Apparently, we had both had Lyme disease. Seeing her so strong nudged me to ask, "How long did it take you to get over it?" "I'm not over it. This is just a good day. I spend bad days on the couch. I've had it for 2 years." 2 years? My insides froze. All these weeks, I had just assumed I'd get better once the disease ran its course. I was not going to spend the next 2 years of my life hoping for a good day. No way. So I decided to take things into my own hands. I didn't care what the doctor said. What sense did it make to just rest and wait to get better? Every fiber of my being told me to keep moving for my body's sake. I fell back on my teacher credo. It's better to ask forgiveness than permission. So I defiantly dragged myself around the gym, dodging the personal trainer. I slowly walked on the treadmill for about 20-second increments and then rested until I felt ready to try again. I used very small free weights. Did you know they made free weights in 1-pound dumbbells? I used them because the machine weights were much too heavy for me. I practiced going up the bedroom stairs, visualizing the entire flight without stopping. I figured my body needed all the support I could give it. I drank lots of water and did my best to eat healthy foods. I also visualized those little spirochetes being annihilated by my immune system in my hostile, antibiotic-infested body. Determined to explore everything, I turned to my father. He had once told me how he avoided hemorrhoid surgery by instructing his body to heal itself. My dad had theorized if we were in charge of our brains or minds, and our minds were in charge of our bodies, he only had to give his mind a focused order to heal its body. At the time, I was skeptical, but now, well, what could it hurt? Why wait for heart cells to grow over some surgical patch? Why not get them started now? If my dad could encourage his body to heal, so could I. Every night, I folded my hands across my chest and sent healing energy to my septum. Strangely, my hands would heat up, giving me a focal point as I imagined this healing energy in my hands. My hands are warm right now. I got a little distracted. Sometimes I told the cells around the hole to multiply until it sealed up. I told my circulatory system to carry the necessary components to my cells needed. I'm a science geek. Frequently, I sent generic healing energy to the entire heart, plus all the blood vessels leading to and from it. And I asked my other organs to help in every way possible. I mean, why not? I didn't know what I was doing. I just made it up as I went along. I figured every little bit would help, and it certainly wouldn't hurt to concentrate on healing. Besides, a Red Cross first aid instructor had shared a story about a woman who had saved her husband's life when he suffered a heart attack. She didn't know CPR except for what she had seen on TV. She alternated pushing on his chest, blowing in his mouth, and screaming for help from their living room until a neighbor heard her and called 911. She didn't know what she was doing either, but she kept him alive by doing anything she could think of, and he lived to tell the story. That was my intention, to try anything I could think of, to focus on my heart. And guess what? As I used to say when we did book reports when we were children, if you want to know what happens, you have to read the book. But I will admit that obviously I got better, okay, because I'm sitting here in front of you giggling. All right, now I am going to read you an excerpt from how to keep your daughter from slamming the door. Because one of the things I did in terms of healing my Lyme disease was modifying my diet. And I did this with the help of an energy practitioner. I didn't just say, okay, I'm going to do things that are good. So this is about what I ate during that time when I had the Lyme disease. When I had Lyme disease, this was the clean up nutrition protocol I was on. I am not saying all these foods are safe for everyone, so pay attention to your body. This was all I was allowed to consume. So again, I even though I've had Lyme disease a couple of times, the first time was the only time I've used antibiotics. I've gotten it over it without antibiotics several times, but I don't share the protocols I did because everybody's body is different. And I'm not about to say, this is what I did, because I'm afraid people are going to run off and do it. However, I am sharing what it was that I ate. And basically, I can count what I was allowed to eat on 2 hands. Organic green veggies, including herbs and seasonings. Organic carrots, organic onions, organic garlic. You see a pattern here with the word organic? Extra virgin olive oil, preferably not imported due to purity concerns. Organic brown rice, not imported due to arsenic concerns. Wild caught fish, not shellfish or filter feeders, like flounder or lobster. Organic fowl, like chicken, turkey, ducks. Filtered tap water. No plastic bottles. Every time you drink out of a plastic bottle, you can see one of my mom minutes on YouTube. Every time you drink, your bottle goes, you're leaching plastic into the body, and that makes your body have to work to get the plastic out of it. So I use filtered tap water and glass containers, and this is my water bottle. See, it's made out of glass. It has a little rubber coating on it, so for those times where I drop it and it breaks, all the glass stays right there instead of shattering all over the place. Okay, absolutely no GMOs. That's genetically modified organisms. And I'll just pause for a second to talk about GMOs. I'm not saying all GMOs are bad. What I'm saying for a fact that no one has ever tested what happens if you have wheat GMOs with soy GMOs, or what happens if you have corn GMOs with the medicine that you're taking, or what happens if you've had the GMOs in your body after 30 years. Nobody is testing that stuff. So all I'm saying is, when you're trying to heal your body, don't put stuff in it that has not been proven to be safe yet. So no GMOs, gluten, wheat, corn, soy, canola, or dairy. And again, you can get a PDF of this, so don't worry about trying to write it down or anything. This is, again, what I could eat. Absolutely no fruit juice. No fruit, no juice, no sugar, no sweeteners, no stevia, no artificial sweeteners, which nobody should be having artificial sweeteners. No vinegars, no red meat, no processed foods or white stuff. That means no potatoes, no rice, no breads, no sugars. Eat organic whenever possible. When grocery shopping, skip anything that has more than 3 ingredients in it, and avoid any ingredient you can't pronounce. When I ate out, I usually ordered grilled chicken on romaine lettuce, dressed with olive oil, salt, and pepper. The idea is, while your body is fighting something or trying to fix itself, you don't add any additional problems for it to handle. By cleaning up your menu, your body can devote 100% of its resources to addressing your health problems. The big bonus? I could eat all I wanted and when I wanted to, and I lost weight. So one last thing. I am a fan of the Venn diagram, which is about compromise. So this is the circle of all the foods I love to eat. And this is the circle of the list I just read to you. And where those two things overlap, right there, that is what I ate. So instead of feeling restricted, I made sure that all the foods I ate were foods that I loved. And yes, I have gotten over Lyme disease. And I've been tested several times in between to make sure I don't have it, so I know that it has been eradicated from my body in between my exposures. So I hope you enjoyed that. I want to tell you that I am a personal coach and a life coach and a personal trainer and a parenting coach. So if you would like to work with me, I am open for clients right now. And all of my books can be gotten basically any place where you buy books. But if you enter into the raffle, you have a chance of picking up some of the books for free. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you learned something from what I went over today. And have a fabulous day.